Ladies and gentlemen, if you're wondering what you're going to get from Christmas from the White House, close the door, please. If you're wondering what the White House is going to give you for Christmas, I have them in my hand. That's right. Everybody's getting a Christmas gift from the White House this year. And now we're going to discuss the actual costs of illegal immigration and how much money the Vatican and the Lutheran Church and several other church organizations are collecting for each individual migrant, which is an astounding and astonishing $1,200 per day per migrant to house the migrants on the U.S. side of the border. You don't believe that, do you? No, I don't believe it either. The fact is, it is $1,200 a day, but the actual cost has never been actually added up since 2015. That was 2015's numbers. Now it's probably close to $2,000 a day to house each migrant. Yay! Another lie from President Trump. But moving past that, we have the corporate lie from President Trump, whereas if we bail out Mexico, if we bail out General Motors, good morning, Psycho. If we bail out General Motors for $514 billion, it'll bring jobs back to America. But you know what happened? Nobody, wait, stop posting. Hold on a minute, guys. I have about 10 items I want to post on the live stream. I'm going to give you the links to the articles I'm just going to discuss. Yeah, General Motors just laid off 15,000 workers before Christmas. They gave them the pink slip. That's after a $514 billion bailout from President Trump, the man who is behind and above and on the job. That's right. So all of the prophecies and all of the prophetic statements and all of the stupid statements and all of the facts I gave you that President Trump is a pathological liar, it's all true. Good morning, Samuel, but just hold off for a minute. I want to post some stuff on YouTube. That's right. We now have Mr. Obama 2.0 in the White House. And so remember Mr. Obama, I gave him some of these for his White House Christmas present a few years back. And now Trump, here you go, Mr. Trump. I'm giving you my Christmas gift to you, Mr. Trump, are Christmas balls for you, Mr. Trump. And these are special Christmas balls. This is the kind of Christmas ball that Trump would like to play with, I'm sure, because when you smash these balls against something hard or you bounce them, they glow. So you could put the balls down here, Mr. Trump, and then you could have lighted, glowing balls so that you can see your path through life, because you are slipping it in long, deep, and hard to everybody in America. The least I could do is light your path, Mr. Trump. So now just give me a few moments. I'm going to put Mr. Trump's balls down because these balls ain't heavy. That's right. So I'm going to put them down, and I have a whole list of 6 items. Just give me one moment to get my live stream items up. The first thing I'm going to tell you, and don't post anything. I know I said it before. Don't post anything. I have to copy 6 items. One of them is the actual costs of $1,200 per illegal immigrant being housed in America per day. $1,200 a day of your tax money. But before I get to that, who's getting the money? Well, the Vatican and other Lutheran churches and other forms of Christian, churches are getting the money. This is not a joke. This is a fact. Christians, stop posting, please. Stop posting until I get this stuff down. I'm not dealing with anybody's. I need about 2 minutes before anybody can post anything. I have 6 statements and 6 links and 3 links. This link here that I'm going to give you right now, this shows you that the Vatican and the popes and the bishops are asking, are demanding, they're not asking anybody anything, they're demanding that America opens up its borders to the migrants. That link there says that Pope Francis says that the rejection of migrants is now a sin to the American people, not a sin to anybody but the American people, but also to Europe. So now, according to the HHS resettlement disbursements, on this following video, don't post anything. I am still posting stuff. According to the resettlement Blue Rose, hold on a minute. Please stop posting, everybody. I have some links and some. Please stop posting. Please stop posting. I have some things I want to put up on the screen. Please stop posting until I get these things. Peter, do you want not here? Please stop posting until I get everything up on the screen. How much clearer can I make this? Please stop posting. Please stop posting until I get my notes up on the screen for you people to go and watch. Please stop posting. Everybody, please stop posting until I get the names of the articles and the amounts of the monies that are going to the Catholic Church, a total of $50 billion. $50 billion. $50 billion has gone to the Catholic Church. $50 billion has gone to the Catholic Church. $50 billion has gone to the Catholic Church. $50 billion has gone to the Catholic Church since 2015. Now I'm going to give you these two items, and I'm going to post three more things. Please stop posting until I get all the items up on the screen. Please stop posting until I get all the items up on the screen. Please stop posting until I get all the items up on the screen. I have the information here. I want to get this out. Okay, so the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops and the Church Road Service got $150 million since 2015. $150 million for just these two organizations, okay? But that's not even 1/10 of what anybody's gotten. The Lutheran Church got another the Lutheran Church got another $5 million for immigrant, $50 million for immigration. Should be 50 million. Hold on, I gotta correct that. The Lutheran Church got another $50 million since 2015, only for the costs to house refugees. So the cost of housing refugees is now a minimum of $1,200 per day. $1,200 per day. That's $1,200 a day. The United States government is paying the Lutheran Church, the Catholic Church, and a couple of other church organizations. The United States government is paying $1,200 a day for each migrant. $1,200 a day for each migrant. $1,200 a day for each migrant. Please give me another minute. I have something from the Jimmy Dore show I want to post to you. This is Trump. Jimmy Dore went off on a rant this morning, and I like Jimmy Dore. He went off on a rant this morning calling Trump a pathological liar, and I'm going to give you the link to this video that Jimmy Dore completely went off on Trump because the CEOs at General Motors collected $100 million, $22 million bonus. That's $100,000 a day in pay they collected since the government bailout of $514 billion. The government bailed General Motors out for $514 billion, and the executives gave themselves $100 million in raises $100 million in raises. 20% of the bailout went to the corporate executives of General Motors, and now they're closing down 5 plants in Ohio and Missouri and Mississippi, I think, but 5 plants, 15,000 workers, no more workers. And in January, several thousand more office workers, a total of about 20,000 office workers are being laid off from General Motors after the great President Trump, the greatest man on earth, besides Barack Obama. Barack Obama 2.0. Obama had nothing on Trump. Trump just gave the corporations, General Motors, only $514 billion a year ago, and now they're closing up the shop and moving to where? To Mexico. This is after he said the jobs are going to come from Mexico to America. Now they're going from America to Mexico because every politician tells you the exact opposite of what they're going to do. And what was Trump's response to the 15,000 people that are being laid off before Christmas? What was his response? We're very upset with General Motors. We're very upset with General Motors. They have to build something here. I'm sure they're going to come back and build something in America. I'm sure about that. President Trump is sure about that. Like he was sure that he was going to save General Motors, and he gave them $514 billion. And then they took the $514 billion and they gave themselves $100 million in bonuses for the executive branch of General Motors. They never raised the value of a person's paycheck. They might have brought it up 2 or 3% for the cost of living for 1 year. But now they're laying off 15,000 people before Christmas. Thank you, President Obama. I mean, President Trump. Is there really a difference? Can anybody tell me the difference between this man and this man? Can anybody tell me the difference between these two politicians? You know that the definition in the Encyclopedia Britannica or Webster's of a politician is a, do you know what it is? I know what it is. It's a political animal. Therefore, all politicians are political animals, and we know from history, all animals are created equal, except some animals are created more equal than others. So can you tell me the difference between Mr. Trump and Mr. Obama? Because there is a specific difference that there is between these two people. Notice if I put Mr. Obama on my shoulder, kisses for Mr. Obama. He made me famous. Look, see what Mr. Obama is missing. What Mr. Obama is missing is a blue ball on the top of his head. And also what he is missing is a blue ball that glows and lights up with a goldfish in it. See Mr. Trump's blue ball on his head? Mr. Trump has a blue ball on his head, and Mr. Obama does not. Okay, now why is that? Because this blue ball keeps Mr. Trump's brain warm with fresh ideas on how to save America. Except it's not working, Mr. Trump. You are a pathological, sociopathical liar. Okay, you have lied about everything. You never closed the border wall. You said it's costing American people, taxpayers money. But did you ever, one time, did you ever note the things I just noted in these articles? That the Catholic Church, the Vatican, the popes and the bishops are stating that it's a sin, it's a sin to not accept refugees into the country. Not just America, but Europe also. But more specifically, last week, the Catholic Charities Organization and the Lutheran Church got together and they agreed on this topic that it's now a sin, a sin. In other words, you can go to hell if you don't bring migrants into the country. And now we're housing illegal migrants on the American side of the border at $1,200 a day, but it's not $1,200 a day. It's $1,200 a day that they say. That was $2,015 per day. We don't have any updates. We don't have any updates in 3 years how much it costs to house a migrant. So probably it doubled up to 2,000. Let's just say it's 2,000, but it's not 2,000. It's $2,000 out. Go ahead and go to your bank account. And let's say you have $2,000 in your bank account. Let's do it on the flip-flop method, okay? You have $2,000 in your bank account, and you have an emergency where you have to spend $2,000. How much did it cost you? It cost you $2,000, but now you have to replenish the $2,000. So basically, to get back to where you started, is you need $4,000 for the problem that needed to be solved with the original $2,000. So it's $2,000 out, $2,000 that you don't have, and $2,000 that you need to replenish the bank account with. So if it's costing us $2,000 a day, which it probably is, but a minimum of $1,200 a day, that means it's costing $2,400 a day or $4,000 a day to house one migrant. I ought to go into the freaking hotel business in Arizona or California. $2,400 a day to house migrants, illegal Mexicans, illegal Hondurans, illegal Salvadorians, or whatever they are. $2,400 a day to the taxpayer. You know that the average taxpayer doesn't spend $2,000 in taxes for the entire year that they earn money. So if for every day, for 300 days, that means the average taxpayer has to work for 300 years if all their taxes only go to the illegal migrants. Where is this money coming from? All right, now I'm going to look at some of the comments. Okay, but just remember this. Mr. Obama, see, Mr. Trump has a blue Christmas ornament on his head that glows in the dark, and this ornament creates heat. That keeps Mr. Trump's brain warm so he can keep coming up with brainstorms where Mr. Obama has no more say-so in the matter. He doesn't need to keep his brain warm. Mr. Obama can go and retire, and I wish he would. I wish he really would, because he's not helping matters at all. Trump has enough problems with his sociopathic lying capacity that Mr. Obama has to chime in and make it even worse, because now everybody is confused except Michael Fazio and people like Jimmy Dore, Laura Ingraham. And then, here's the best. I was watching a news pundit yesterday morning, and this woman, this stupid blonde-headed newscaster, called the illegal migrants on the other side of the Mexican border, she called them, what can we do to help the migrant workers come to America? That was on Fox News. So you want to talk about fake news, you want to talk about phony news, you want to talk about BS news. It's all subterfuge news. All right, so Mr. Trump, Mr. Obama, put you down. Put me down, Michael Fazio. Put you down. I made Mr. Obama fly Gamai. Small amount of fly. Want to fly? I want to fly. I want to fly, Michael Fazio. Okay, Mr. Obama, you fly over there. Want to kiss Mr. Trump? No! Yeah, you kiss Mr. Trump. Okay, give. No! No! My nemesis, Mr. Trump. Kiss Mr. Trump, Mr. Obama. Kiss his blue ball. That's right. Kiss his brain cell. Because that's what Trump has for a brain cell. One small light in his brain. Mr. Obama, thank you very much. You're welcome, Michael. Please get me away from Mr. Trump. Good. It scares me with that. Trump is wood. Trump is wood in the White House. Okay, Mr. Obama, fly. Flying. Flying, 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 flying. Flying over there, Mr. Obama. And Mr. Trump, what do you got to say for yourself? I got to say that this light keeps my brain warm. It's the only thing keeping me going, Michael Fazio. Okay, Mr. Trump. Now, honey, where are you? Gone. I put the aircon on. Okay, so I got things to do. I'm going to go check I got to go. This is crazy. This is freaking crazy. Psycho asked me a question this morning that I'll get to. Psycho said, why do we think, Psycho said this morning, I read the comment, I didn't answer you, I figured I'd answer you here. Psycho said that, why do I think all this is happening? I know why it's all happening. All this money that is supposed to go for bailouts, all the money, the $17 trillion that Obama printed up, the $17 trillion, 3 weeks into the White House, Obama had printed. He got into the White House. The next day, he ordered the printing presses to start. This is an answer to Psycho's question. He got into the White House. The next day, he ordered the printing presses to start printing $100 bills and $50 bills and large denomination bills. And he didn't stop printing until $17 billion was printed. That's the number I got from my friend Gary at Pitney Bowes. He worked on the machines. They needed mechanics 24/7 to keep the machines going. Gary was a Pitney Bowes stamp machine expert, and he went to Washington, D.C., to the Treasury to print up bills. So he told me Obama printed 17 billion. It was in the newspaper, completely washed. You couldn't find Obama printed money in the first 3 weeks of his White House. You couldn't find it. I couldn't find it. I spent an hour looking for it. It's gone. It's gone. Every record, every mention of Obama printing $17 trillion, 17 billion or 17 trillion. I even forget, it was in 2008, but it was 17, I think it was 17 billion. Every mention of that money is gone. Where that money went, to answer Psycho's question, it went to every politician, every judge, every mayor, every governor. Everybody got a little box with an instruction pamphlet saying, here you go. Now, somehow or another, we'll give you instructions, and this will be the code word that we're going to use when we want you to vote or do something a certain way. And every politician took the money, every lawyer, every mayor, every judge took the money with the understanding that if they could keep the money, all cash, so there's no record of it, I think that's what they did. And now they can't refuse it. Well, they could refuse it, but they still have to vote the way they're told. Otherwise, things will happen to them. So that's the answer. Everybody's been bought and paid off with the money that Obama printed and the other monies that the Federal Reserve can just print money out of thin air. That's why everybody is corrupt, except me. And this video will get a lousy 400 views because the people that are not my Patreon members, that are not long-term, that have no videos on your channel, no like videos, no playlists, you people are a bunch of scrubs, okay? You're not getting any recognition at all. You're not part of the solution. You're part of the problem. Nobody passes my videos on. I don't see people that are on here right now whose name I'm looking at that repost my videos on Facebook. I don't see people when I go to, sometimes I go through the channels that make comments on my channel. They have no videos, they have no views, they have no subscribers, they have no playlist, yet they want me to answer a question that might take 5 minutes. I'm not interested in any of that, okay? If you're not going to help me be successful in my channel, I'm not going to answer your questions. It's that simple. So if I brush through these comments and you're not a very long-term subscriber who I happen to like, unless you have a perfectly legitimate and intelligent question, or unless you're a member of my Patreon account, or unless you're a Super Chat member, I'm not interested in what you have to say. So stop posting right now. Do yourself a favor. Aram Gadarjian, he's a Super Chat donator. Thoughts on the apocalypse? Oh, come on. It's imminent. It may not be. The apocalypse can happen in so many different ways now. They can do a false flag, nuclear strike. They can say there was an accident in a nuclear power plant. Let's say the wind blows from California. Let's just say the wind blows from the West Coast to the East Coast. You want to talk about how they can create an apocalypse? You want to talk about this? You really want to talk about this? I'll give you five scenarios. The wind blows from California towards New York, the most populated states where there are nuclear reactors. And they have a nuclear catastrophe equal to that of Fukushima that can't be controlled. And now, downwind, there are I don't know how many power plants there are between California and New York, but let's say they take the power plant that has an airflow around the United States that hits the most amount of power plants. So they take this radiation and they blow up one plant. Of course, it's an accident. Now, the next power plant down the line there's going to be fallout, and they're going to have to evacuate the town and the power plant because of the radiation is going to be too much for the people in the power plant to live there for any length of time. And they can just have a cataclysmic catastrophe from one nuclear power plant to make it catapult into however many nuclear power plants are downwind. And then who's to say they don't have, that somebody forgets a valve in the second power plant. Now you have two power plants, two Fukushimas. Okay, that's one form of apocalypse. There was another form of apocalypse that people were talking about for a very long time, that Mr. Obama wanted to set off 2 nuclear bombs in the state of Georgia, and the military went against him. And that's why Mr. Obama purged, I don't know, 20, 30, 40, 50 generals and captains of aircraft carriers and battleships and generals and all these colonels and stuff. He just wiped them off out of the military. Gone. They just fired like 50 people. Immediately after that false flag was supposed to take place and the military coup went against Obama, 50 people got fired. It prevented it. Now, I don't know if it was real or not, because there's no way to prove any of this stuff because they lie. But that's another catastrophe. Let's say the wind blew from Georgia to California. I don't know which way the wind blows anymore. You have to ask Mr. Obama. Mr. Obama, which way does the wind blow? Oh, Michael Fazio, I'm glad you asked that question. How? I'd go whichever way the wind blows. I know that you go whichever way the wind blows, Mr. Obama, but which way is the wind blowing? Right now, it's coming from the bottom up. The wind is coming from the bottom up. Oh, the wind. I didn't know you were talking about the wind. I thought you were talking about Mr. Larry. No, Mr. Obama. The wind. Not, how do you get a Larry from the wind? Oh, Michael Fazio, Larry wasn't very good at making windy things. Mr. Obama, I have a question for you. Which way does the wind blow from Georgia? Does it blow towards Florida or California? Towards New York. Oh, okay, there you have it. We have an expert on high volume wind, Mr. Obama, because nobody blew more hot air than Mr. Obama onto the American people. Thank you, Mr. Obama. Anything you need, Michael Fazio. Anything I need Mr. Trump to light up. There you go. Have a nice day, Mr. Obama. Look at Mr. Trump. He's got a blue ball on his head. I have those too. You put them on the desk. I remember. I used to sit on those blue ones a long time ago. Mr. Obama, there. Good morning, Samuel. The apocalypse can getting back to Aram got a G and got a G. It could happen a million ways. They could have on 100 miles from my house. When I lived in New Jersey, there was a place called Plum Island. Okay, the tri-state area. It's out at the end of Long Island, about 100 miles from the Verrazano Bridge. It's the most deadly bacteria agents. At some point in history, that's where they stored them. Any one of those things, if someone dropped a bomb on that facility, or the United States government blew it up, like they blew up stuff in New York 18 years ago, if they blew up Plum Island, then all of those bacteria would get out. Now, supposedly there was enough bacteria in Plum Island for biological warfare to kill every man, woman, and child on Earth many times over. So that could be another apocalyptic event. Or they could just put the 5G networks in place. This is another thing. Thank you, Mr. Trump. He's installing 5G networks all over the world. I mean, all over America. Why? So he says so people have more access to the internet? No, it's to cook you. It's to reduce your sperm count. Do you know that I have 50% less sperm in my boys? 50% less sperm in the boys now than I did when I was 17 years old. Okay, and why is that? because of the plastic that we eat and because of these radio waves coming from these towers, and also the chemicals that are spewing down over the cities. Okay, we have 50% less sperm, so 50% less of a chance to have a healthy baby on top of that. So, and you can thank Mr. Trump for the 5G networks. Thank you, Mr. Trump, for the 5G networks that are going to cook us from the inside out. 100 ways you could have an apocalypse here. You could, all they have to do is keep letting these migrants into the country, and I guarantee you that if civil war doesn't break out, martial law will be instituted. If they keep letting these migrants into the country and people find out what the real costs of the migrant invasion is, at $1,200 a day per person to house these people in tents on the American side of the border, I would think that there'd be some kind of an upset in the American way of life. Now, I can't be sure, and I can't even tell you what you could do, because I would go to jail. I would tell you what you could do. I could tell you that, and in half an hour, I'd be in jail in a foreign country. Okay, see, so you see how that goes? You're not allowed to talk about what you could do, according to the American Constitution, by the way. The Constitution allows for what I could say could be done, but I would be considered a terrorist if I told you what's in the American Constitution. So it would be a legal avenue for people to follow, but I would be called a terrorist for telling you to follow the laws of the American Constitution. So I can't tell you what to do. But these people are psychopaths. They are complete psychopaths. They don't care about you. They never cared about you. And now I'm going to move on. Thank you, Aram, who did a super chat yesterday. Don't I remember you guys' names? Okay, so if I don't answer your question, it's like I said, maybe they're good questions, but I just don't. I see a lot of responses here. I don't know. Okay, Sasha, thank you. I will check that out. Thank you for following up on that. One way or the other, no matter how it works out, thanks for trying to assist me to meet President Duterte. I actually believe that President Duterte and I would get along quite well. I know I've never met any president of any country before, but I think it would be an interesting conversation to give my perspective of the Philippines, especially that I get down and dirty with the people of the Philippines. I walk onto the job sites. You see any other vlogger walking onto the job sites and then talking to the men and then actually helping the men in some cases, and then the men allowing the foreigner, some old fat guy from New York, allowing the foreigner to help them move concrete or pick up their tools and show them how to make something easier. None of these other schleps that call themselves YouTube vloggers can do what I do. Not any of them. Not, you got guys walking around talking about ladyboys and the best hotel and the safest streets in Manila. Who the hell in their right mind would want to live in Manila? I got to ask you this question. Who the hell have you people that watch these guys? Manila is better than Makati, and Makati is better than Subic Bay. These are giant slums, these places. These places are for people that like city life. There's no real life there. There's nothing real life in Manila. It's what can I buy 24 hours a day? What food can I buy? What kind of girl can I get? What kind of thing on the street can I buy for an hour or 2 hours? What kind of sickness or what kind of perversion can I perpetrate on the poor people of the Philippines and get away with? That's what these bloggers that are in these big cities are there for. They're not there to live life. Living life, from my perspective, is living on a white sand beach, by the way, or near enough to a beach to walk to a beach and enjoy sitting on the ocean. Instead of who would choose walking around the streets of Manila where after 2 hours your nose gets congested, after 4 hours your nose bleeds? Who would choose that over walking down the white sand beach and then taking a dip when the sun comes out and it's hot? Who in their right mind would choose living? So you have to go with what's in Manila. What's in Manila? Food and alcohol. You can become a food addict or an alcoholic or a drug addict, and no one cares. You can have sex with men, you can have sex with women, you can have sex with children in Manila, and no one cares, because the whole concept of Manila is perversion or excess perversion in one way or another. So I would tell Mr. Duterte that about these son of a bitches that call themselves Philippine bloggers. I would actually physically make some notes about who is doing what in the Philippines and who is projecting the Philippines in a bad light. Now, some people might think I'm crazy, and some people might say, well, sometimes you project the Philippines in a bad light. I just tell the truth. I tell the truth in that when I go out to dinner with a Filipino and ask the Filipino to take his wife with him, and his wife can't make it, and then I say, well, then you can transfer that over to take your secretary. That's okay. And I take the man out for dinner, and then I get a message. They're already in the building where we're supposed to have dinner, in the parking lot upstairs. Is it okay if I bring my other 2 secretaries? So 3 secretaries, and the original man I invited, the original secretary that I invited, and then 2 more women, which just happened to be her sisters. But that's not the point. I tell you the truth. That's what you can expect. That's Daisy said that's perfectly normal. Filipino mindset is when you're taking somebody out to dinner, they're going to bring friends. Okay, and you know what? I'm okay with that, because what the man has helped me with and done for me in the last year and a half, I couldn't pay him back if he took 3 office staffs with him. For free, he did that. So, but the mindset of the Filipino, if you invite them out, let's say you invite your neighbor out, they're going to bring their whole family. That's the truth. That's not putting a negative light on the Filipinos. That's giving you an insight into the way of life in the Philippines. When I invite a girl out for breakfast or lunch before I met Daisy, they always brought between 1 and 5 people. And my thing that I would do is I'd sit down at the table in the restaurant with them. I'd sit down and introduce myself to all 3 or 4 or 5 girls. Usually they bring an aunt and a nephew and an uncle and 2 friends. I mean, that was standard procedure. And I would say, yeah, you guys can, they would ask me, can we order anything we want? I'd say, you could order anything you want. Doesn't matter what you order. And I would let them all order, and I would excuse myself to go to the bathroom, and I'd leave. I'm not paying for 6 people for dinner, but that's the way the Filipino people think. I give you truths about the Philippines. Now I'm going to go back to the comments. Okay, so you see all these things I posted. Pope Francis says the rejection of migrants is now a sin. Well, you got the Jesuit Pope that is backed by the Illuminati and also the Masons and the Club of Rome and the Bilderbergers and the Dilderbergers mixed in with the Bilderbergers, because there's a lot of the new Bilderberger Foundation is formed not just with the original Bilderbergers, but the new generation of Bilderbergers are called Dildobergers. Okay, so you have the Bilderbergers and the Dildobergers as one organization. You have the Club of Rome as another organization. You have the Vatican as another organization. You have the Jesuit Pope and priests as another organization. Then you have the Rothschilds that control the Vatican's banking finances. That's another organization. Okay, you have all of these organizations. So now the Pope says that to turn a migrant away is a sin, which means you could go to hell. You can go to hell if you turn. This is bullshit. They're brainwashing you people into believing stuff that has nothing to do with reality. Honey, I hate to ask you, but can I have water, please? Thank you. Yeah, blue now. Yeah, thank you. And now I'm gonna show you some other things here. I'm gonna go through these comments. I got to get through this. So, okay, so we have $1,200 a day per migrant is being paid to the Catholic Church, the Lutheran Church, and a couple of other church-type organizations. Any of these church organizations are getting the same paycheck per migrant. So they get a hotel that people pay. When did you ever pay $1,200 a day for a hotel? Anywhere? Anybody? I never did. I never paid $1,200. The most I ever paid for a hotel was the Hotel Atlantis. It was a little over $400 a day. And I took my mother on the best vacation she ever had in her whole life. I regret it, but I did it. And then I got a discount because after it was September 11th, the whole vacation for 10 days cost $10,000. That was with food at the hotel. Food at the hotel. The food was $75 a day per person. Okay, but they had some of the best food I ever ate. The rooms were, I think, $485 a day, but we had a view over the tidal pool where the stingrays and the sharks are. It was on the 7th floor, dead center in the main building of the Hotel Atlantis. We had unlimited food, unlimited food 24/7, and unlimited access to any ride or thing on the hotel property. So with hotel accommodations and food, it was like $600 a day. And then my mother was a degenerate gambler. She couldn't stop putting quarters in the slot machine. She would win sometimes, but at the Hotel Atlantis there was no winning. It was just a one-way thing. I couldn't get her off the slot machine. Damn, that was annoying. Like, I can't even tell you that story on air. Okay, so far to date, it cost $430 million that American government has given the Catholic charities, the ones I told you about in the upper thing. Let's see. $430 million to the 5 top Catholic or Lutheran charities, and we've given them almost $500 million in the year 2015. Not today's money. Don't make any mistake about it. That was 3 years ago. We gave them $430 million for. That's not now. And 1,200 new migrants came within the last 3 days. And the Border Patrol says there's something like close to 10,000 migrants waiting for asylum or waiting to get into the country. So times that $1,200 a day, times 10,000, and now there are rumors that there are another 5,000 or 7,000 on their way, working their way from Honduras. So there are estimates by Christmas there'll be 25,000 to 30,000 migrants in Tijuana. Go figure. President Trump, yay, Trumpster. Come on over here, Mr. Trumpster. Let me ring your bell. Come on over here. Here you go, Trump. Thanks for helping us out here. Thanks for building that wall 2 years ago like you promised. Thanks for putting voter registration, voter ID in place. Thanks for keeping all your promises. Thanks for giving General Motors $514 billion bailout. And now the executives took $100 million of that for pay raises, bonuses for this year, $100 million in bonuses, which comes out to $100,000 per day for each executive in General Motors that got those $22 million pay raises. $100,000 a day bonus because Mr. Trump gave them $514 billion to do whatever they want with. Thank you, Mr. Trump. You are a piece of wood in the White House. You are a piece of wood in the White House. Sickening, sickening. And this video, because you schleps over here on YouTube with no channel, no names on your channel, no videos on your channel, no like videos. You don't repost my videos because you got nobody to repost them to. And I'm going to slide right through all the comments from people I don't know. If you're not a super chatter or if you're not a Patreon member, I'm telling you right now, I'm not even going to help you with your dilemma. I get 25, 30 people a week telling me, please contact me personally. I have something important to talk to you about. Really? 25 to 30 people a week require only 1 or 2 hours of my time. And 1 or 2 hours of my time at 25, it's 50 hours a week. It's a full-time job just answering questions from people that have special requests. I'm not doing it anymore. If you want special request answers, you need to be a little special. And I don't see a lot of special people here. So watch me zoom through these comments. Okay, the Jimmy Dore show. And I like Jimmy Dore. I don't like everything that Jimmy Dore does, but he is probably one of the best newscasters. He's a comedian, unlike myself, who's a serious type of guy. Jimmy Dore had an article that proves Trump is a pathological liar. That's where I got the numbers of 15,000 people being laid off. It's on Jimmy Dore's show. I don't know the name of the video. And then he states in the video, the CEOs are getting $100,000 a day, and they're closing the plants. Psycho says that priests are molesting the children, skinning the children, whatever that means. And General Motors is building a new plant in Mexico. Mad Max, good morning. Globalists told GM to lay off workers to destroy nationalism in the bud. I don't know about that, Mad Max. If you have a link to the article, you can post your link. If it doesn't show, I'll make it show. Peter Brown says, I'm only going through the comments I like because I'm almost down to the bottom. I skimmed through quite a bit. One's a prick, the other is a bigger prick. Oh, you must be talking about Mr. Trump and Mr. Obama. Don't talk about my presidents like that. Don't talk about my president. This is Mr. Trump. He's a pathological liar. Nothing that he promised did he complete his promises. GM is going to bring, what about, and then Mr. Obama with Solara. That's another $500 million that he gave to some fake company for solar panels. And as soon as he gave the money, within a year, the company went belly up. So Trump gave them Obama gave $500 million and Trump gave $500 million. Obama gave $500 million to Solara and Trump gave $500 million to GM, and they're both going belly up as far as the American citizen. Now, they're not going to close all their plants. They're just only closing 5 plants this month after they got to have $500 billion bailout. That equates to, for every man, woman, and child in America, that means a newborn to a 90-year-old man, woman, or child in America. Only Americans. It equates to some ridiculous amount of money, like $66,000 per person that Trump gave to General Motors. And now, why didn't he just give that $66,000 if you had a family of 4, times it by 4, and give you 200 and what is that? 56 times 4, $224,000. Why didn't he just give a family of 4 $224,000? That would have solved America's problem. Then everybody could have bought a new car, and GM would be doing good. That's because the Trump puppet and the Obama puppet are puppets of the New World Order. Don't make any mistake about it. They are puppets of the New World Order. Sasha's saying, Sasha's calling on the DOD. I get in trouble when I put the DOD up there. I got a lot of flack for that. And I don't want to get a strike because I enjoy doing these live streams. But I guess I could put the DOD in the background. The DOD has its place. Not here, though. You know, I have another channel I might start doing DOD videos on. I have another channel that I've never been to in 3, maybe 4 years. I haven't even opened up the channel in 4 years or 3 years. Maybe it has 30 videos on it, and somehow or another, I have 4,000 subscribers on another channel that I didn't even realize. I haven't been to the other channel, and I looked at it 2 months ago or 3 months ago. So maybe I'll do it on that channel. I'll put it under. I'll leave the channel. What's the name of that channel? I guess you could call it a backup channel now. I don't know. I got to look it up. I'll give you the name of the other channel if you want to subscribe to the other channel. I couldn't believe it. I've never asked anybody to subscribe to the channel. Probably since I first started that channel. What is the name? What is that one? I think it's this one, Zionist ZooTube. I think it's Zionist ZooTube. 4,000 subscribers. 4,000 subscribers. And I think I have like 30 videos on that channel. Yeah, I'll give you the name. 4,022 subscribers. Hold on. You're going to love this. Okay, so here's the name of the channel. First I'm going to give you the name of the channel, and then I'm going to post the link to the name of the channel. So here's the name, and here's the link to the channel. You guys want to subscribe, knock yourself out in case I get in trouble here with the DOD. But I could do live streams from. I got to figure that out, Sasha. There would be a great channel. I also have a channel, believe it or not. I have a channel called Obama Dickadoom. I have a channel called Obama. I have never been to that channel. Let's go there and see if I have any subscribers. I guess I could do it on any one of these channels. I have not been there. I only have 50 subscribers on that channel. 57. That would probably not be a good place to start. And then I have Rabbi Jew Barker. I've never been there either. I haven't been there. I only opened up Zionist ZooTube because somebody left a comment about a while ago, and only 114 subscribers. Okay, so that one has a picture of Einstein. So I would go with the one I gave you. I'm going to close these out. I'd go with the one I gave you, which was Zionist ZooTube. Where is it? Zionist ZooTube. I'll copy it again so that you guys don't miss it. Yeah. Yeah, that would, let's see if we get our subscriber base. Then I could have a base of close to 5,000 people if some people subscribe. Okay, so Mad Max. Trump isn't opposing anything that has Mad Max. Trump is a globalist. He's a New World Order type of guy. If he wasn't, he would have kept his promise and exposed the truth about 9/11 and explosives being in the building. He didn't do that. He didn't give us he didn't lock Hillary Clinton up. He didn't lock up Obama. He didn't do any of. He's a globalist. Mad Max Rising. You need to see the bigger picture. He's a globalist. He's a New World Order type of guy. He takes his orders from the same place Mr. Obama got his marching orders. Okay? The same place. I wrote a book about it, about how corrupt that the Vatican controls the United States government, and now the Vatican is dictating terms to the United States government. You got everybody wants to believe he's opposing him. That's his job. Obama's job was to make believe he was destroying America when it wasn't him. It was the globalists giving him orders. And also him and his husband, wife. And but now it's Trump's turn to destroy America by putting on the facade of the good guy. So we have the good guy and the bad guy. Here's the good guy with the brain that glows in the dark, and then we have the bad guy, so-called bad guy, Mr. Obama, who made me famous. So who do I like more? I like Obama better than I like Trump. At least Obama said what he was going to do. Fundamentally change America, baby. And that's what he did. Trump is going to save America, and he's destroying America. He's doing it day by day. Do you think that these people on the border are not going to cause more problems, and that somewhere or another Trump is going to have to initialize martial law? Okay? Because what about the people that are already in the country? What about the people that are coming in by plane and by ocean ships from Mexico? What about the ones that are coming on vacation and never leaving from all different parts of the world? Trump is a New World Order type of guy, and the more of these people that can get into the country by hook or by crook, the closer Trump comes to throwing down martial law on America. Is it possible? I think it's possible. Is it probable? I think at the current rate of progress that Mr. Trump is progressing at this current rate, I think either civil war or martial law is a distinct possibility. I won't say more than that, but people that are in the know are getting pretty pissed off about this guy with no hair. But he got a ball on his head. He got the guy with the light, Mr. Trump. Mr. Trump, look at this. So now I'm going down to the bottom of the list. If I don't see anybody that's part of my organization, one of my 3 or 4 organizations, passing right by them. Roshan Funkhauser, good morning. Family loves me. I got people that tell me that they sit and watch my videos on Thanksgiving with their family. Come, better than Saturday Night Live, one guy said. Thanks very much, Roshan. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Boy, it looked like there were just a few comments. And when I went down to the bottom, I pushed that arrow. I see, like, I don't know, it went up to the top third. All right, we're gonna go through these. Mad Max, yes, the psycho Catholic Church has an effect in the Philippines. Although Duterte has opposed it many times and called them out, the Pope will not meet Trump, but the Pope did meet Obama. Let me give you guys something to think about. You want to see I got videos. I can't put the Pope's pipes videos. I can't give you the links to the Pope's pipe, okay? I got a lot of videos with me talking about the Pope, and one of them is the Pope's pipe. One series is with the Pope's pipe, and another one is when I was in Dumaguete, I was in a hotel, and I forgot the name of the video, but this one had the Pope on the front page of Time magazine or something like that. I gotta find it. I'm gonna give you the link. You guys want to watch a video that would piss off the Pope? but make Mr. Duterte smile. This would be the video I would send Mr. Duterte to let him know what I think about the Vatican. And then I would think that me and Mr. Duterte would get along just fine after he saw that. Three Dick of Dooms. But I'll give you a list of the Pope, my videos to the Pope, but I can't give these are the videos that are on Patreon. Poop pile of dung on earth. Pope Francis declares Jesus is the son of Lucifer. That's a Patreon video. Okay, these are some of these videos are so raw that I have to put them way up in Patreon and in the $10 or more level, because this way I know somebody didn't just join my Patreon member so that they could call me out and try to get me strikes on these videos. I got a slew of these. I got 200 of them. Cost, okay, here, this one here. This is a good video from Dumageddon. And this is a public video, and this is perfectly okay. Cost of living in the Philippines. Toilet paper or the Jesuit Pope. Either way, my derriere gets clean. Okay? Now, if you don't think that I have a good sense of humor, if you don't think, and then in the video, in the description box, I talk about on January 24, 2017, Duterte declares, I challenge you now. I challenge the Catholic Church, and so on and so forth. He hates the clergy of the Catholic Church, the Vatican. He despises it. And I'm right there with you, Mr. Duterte. And that's why I put your newspaper article in there. So I'm going to give you the link to this video. Okay, now I'm going to give you the title first, and then I'm going to give you the link. And you guys let me know what you think. Okay, here's the video title. You want to see who has the best sense of humor on YouTube? You want to see? I'll show you who's got the best sense of humor on YouTube. I do. Of all the Philippines bloggers, nobody has the balls to do what I do on YouTube or anywhere else, in life in general. All that bullshit, blah, 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 Manila, the best bar in Manila, the safest streets, it's all bullshit. Who would want to live in Manila except some psycho, mentally retarded, mentally deranged, mentally deficient foreigner that is an alcoholic or a pedophile or a ladyboy lover or something like that? Nobody in their right mind would want to live in Manila. Here is comedy. This is real comedy. There you go. There's the title, and there's the link. And you want to see funny? You just watch what I do to the Pope. Watch what I do to the Pope. You think that this is bad? Watch what I do to the Pope. And you know what? YouTube loves this video, because not only does it make them money, but YouTube doesn't like the Catholic Church. So it's a two-for to YouTube. Mad Max, just the Psycho Catholic Duterte, opposed it many times. You know what I'll do? I will give you the article of Duterte opposing it for anybody that wants to see. Roman Catholic Church pays $30 million in damages to sexual abuse victims. Okay, let's just post that article. Let's post that up there right now for you to see, just to give you an idea of how sick and twisted the Roman Catholic Church is. Okay, that's $30 million. Now, let's go over here. Okay, I had the Mr. Okay, here it is right here. Let's go right here. Oh, Duterte declares, I challenge you now. I challenge the Catholic Church. You are full of shit. Mabaho rin kayong lahat. Corruption and all. President Rowdy Duterte says full story, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so here's the story in its entirety and the link. You think that I don't like the Catholic Church? People tell me all the time, oh, the Catholic Church runs the Philippines. Yeah, but it doesn't run me. And it certainly doesn't run the president of the Philippines. But why should I care anyway? I tried to talk to a priest about who wrote the Bible a few weeks ago, and he just ignored me like I didn't exist. He walked right past me. I don't know why he did that, but he did it, and I don't really care, because all I'm going to do is tell the priest that the Bible was written by Sir Francis Bacon between the years of 1604 and 1611, and then King James initialed it like a done deal. Sir Francis Bacon reconfigured the wording of the Bible. He like edited it. King James published the King James version, and that's what the Masons use. So, and for their little secret handshakes and shit like that. So, Peter Brown wants to know where Mr. Trump's hair is. Peter Brown, do you think that I don't have hair for Mr. Trump? I have hair right here. No pun intended. Tell you what, for Peter Brown, I like the question. So I'm going to take a little bit of my hair. This is my gift to President Trump. And then I'm going to take this blue ball out of Mr. Trump's head like this. I'm going to take the blue ball out, and I'm going to put this hair over there like that. And I'm going to put this up on top. Now, Mr. Trump has hair, Peter Brown. Is that better for you? Does that work for you? Look at that. Mr. Trump has a blue ball haircut. Nice. Obama got nothing on Trump when it comes to hair. I'll tell you that. Obama's got short hair, and Mr. Trump has better than short hair. Mr. Trump has Michael Fazio's hair on his head. This is the real deal. Look up close. Not only did I cut my hair, but I left the dander and the lint in the hair to make it look like a realistic, matting on the head. I'm a nice guy. I love Mr. Trump. I love Mr. Obama. Kisses for all the presidents that have screwed the American people. Peter Brown, thanks for the question. I like the way you think. Psycho DU30 is a stand-up guy. Yes, he is. Roshan Funkhauser says, hey, thumbs up for Fazio. Thank you, Roshan. Hello, Mike from Nova Scotia. That's a long way off. And I hear that's where they keep the cold water fish. No better fish comes from the cold than fish. You get a fish, the same fish that's born and raised in Florida, and the same fish, say a bass, some bass or like a snapper, a different kind of snapper, freshwater, warm water snapper, cold water snapper, warm water lobster, cold water lobster. Nova Scotia, baby. It's got the cold water, and it makes the fish taste good. And anybody that ever worked up on the northern seaboard, eastern seaboard, like myself, I worked for my dad running tugboats and barges up and down the coast from Maine to Florida. Nova Scotia has some great seafood. That cold water lobster from Maine, we used to pick up shorts back in the 70s. I would go on a trip, on a weekend trip with my dad. We'd go from New York to Maine, pull a couple of empty car floats up there, and then load them up with pylons or some cranes of other derricks and stuff like that. Bring them back to New York. But the lobster boats would be coming into Maine on, I guess when we were like, it'd be 5 or 6 miles offshore. And this is before they had all these regulations. So each lobster boat kept 400 or 500 shorts, what they call short lobsters, on the boat. And they would cook those up for the men, and they'd sell them to the boats out on the ocean. Not so much at the docks, but out in the ocean. And we'd make up next to a lobster boat coming in, or one that's working traps. My father called them on the radio and say, you got any lobsters you want to sell? And they tell them, come on over, because we'd be right next to them, be on the same channel, and we'd get 50 or 60 shorts, and we would eat lobster till lobster came out of our ears. And that reminded me of Nova Scotia, but it was in Maine, but it reminded me of that cold water lobster. And then I lived in Florida, had hot, fresh, warm water lobsters in back of my house. All I had to do was go out and catch them. Okay, of course, during season only. You gotta be during season. All I had to do was go out and catch them. They were 15, 20, 30 underneath my dock in the holes in the concrete wall. But it didn't taste nothing like a cold water lobster. Okay, Samuel. Michael Fazio, you know me, I share, but some others don't. Less and more do I think they can read. Okay, yeah, you know, Samuel, I know a lot of people can't share the stuff because they don't know how to do it. They don't have anybody to share it with. But on the next note, Psycho says, uh, Mr. Fazio, you can just call me Michael. I don't really care about that Mr. Fazio stuff. Just say Michael. Make it easy on yourself. I will get a Facebook and post your videos. I am new to social media. I am not educated in social media. You will see, I will learn. Okay, now, it took me years to figure this out. So don't be in any hurry. It's not easy, especially Facebook. You know, I have to ask Daisy how to post stuff on Facebook to this date. We have a couple of channels on Facebook. They have Facebook Home. Then they have your Facebook updates. And then they have your Facebook for too much bullshit. Too much bullshit. Really, it's too much bullshit for me. Okay, I'll post a video on Facebook. I have 2,700 subscribers on Facebook. It might get 7 or 8 views. It's a bullshit. It's a bullshit venue. It's just a bullshit venue. It's not a good venue for me. Posting political stuff on Facebook, my stuff gets buried. Like Mr. Trump, his blue ball got buried inside. It got buried inside my head. Ah, you go. Now with Mr. Trump. Feeling better, Mr. Trump? My brain is warm. My brain is very nice. Thank you, Michael Fazio. You lit, Mr. Michael Fazio. You light up my life. Trump, what, Mr. Trump? You light up my life. Michael Fazio lights up my life. Lights up my life. Mr. Trump, I light up your life. I wonder, somebody send this damn video to the whitehouse.org. Share the love. Share the love. Share the love. Thanks, Psycho. Limey Watcher. How's it hanging? How you doing, Limey? I miss Manny. That's how it's hanging. I miss Manny. I miss Manny Skywatch. I hope he's doing well. That's how it's hanging. I think about Manny. Every time I see your name, I think about Manny. Now, Limey, he has a channel, and he believes in the moon landing. Now, I love Limey because we've been friends for 8 years on YouTube. But Limey believes that we landed on the moon. And he's got these videos. He's very much into objects that fly through space at rapid speeds, which are some are probably legitimate UFOs. So he's got some interesting videos. But Limey, you and I, and he also believes the Earth is round. Now, this is how you could be friends with people and still love them, even though they have a difference of opinion. And by the way, Limey, the Earth is flat, buddy. But you'll catch on. So now, have a nice Christmas, Limey. Thanks for stopping by. Limey watching. Okay, now my Facebook followers hate my political. Oh, yeah. I have 2,700 Facebook subscribers. All friends. No, not all friends. 500 are people I grew up with. They're all liberals. Every one of them are liberals. They refuse to say, nice video, Mike. I gave them my Mr. Obama comedy video, even though Obama destroyed the economy. 2,700 people. I got 2 likes from 2,700 friends on Facebook. Facebook is a bullshit story from the get-go. And I've never clicked on an advertisement on Facebook. And I have friends of mine that are 63 years old, 65, 60 years old. They are on Facebook all effing day, posting bullshit. The same video, reposting it. How could you spend your day on something so worthless? 63 years old. They don't have a political opinion that they project. They have an opinion of something somebody else did a year or 2 ago, and they're reposting that regurgitated garbage on Facebook. So, Facebook, Psycho, thank you for the thought process, but I don't know how that'll work out. But good luck, and thank you. Okay. Limey Watcher. Mad Max. I don't know what movie you were talking about. Aram got a Rejection. I don't know. I forgot where we were with that. Samuel says, sperm, easy cure, make aluminum underwear, LOL. I'm not sure what that's in reference to, but I guess the aluminum foil underwear would maintain a certain density of sperm, better than a cotton pair of cotton underwear. Mad Max says, and they need 5G because satellites don't exist. Now that's true. But don't tell Limey Watcher that satellites don't exist, because he's a very, very influential person when it comes to believing in space. Satellites don't exist. And whatever's up there that might be transmitting stuff back and forth to Earth are big, giant balloons way up in the stratosphere, 60,000 feet, 70,000 feet. And they're at the point where they just keep balanced. And I don't think, if there's 17, I think, 1,000 satellites circling Earth, and you could look up in the night sky and you can't find one with any size telescope. You can't even find the space station, and yet they swear it's up there. And satellites, to prove Mad Max Rising, now I know this for a fact, to prove Mad Max Rising is right about that, we don't have satellites, I'll tell you how he was right. We don't have satellites and we never went to the moon. Think what you will, believe what you will, try to destroy my theories how you will. Mad Max got it right. When a guy came in, put the first satellite I ever owned on my house in Key Largo in Florida, he pointed it like this. I remember the angle, 23 degrees west. 23 degrees due west. The satellite was facing 23 degrees off the ground due west. Okay, that's it. I said to the guy, if it's going up to a satellite, why isn't it working up in the sky? And he said, because that's where the satellite is. So if you went up straight, why don't you use a satellite that's over Florida? We have Florida. You don't have a satellite over Florida? No. So if you go up straight, it might be 100 miles to the satellite if they existed. But if you go at 23 degrees, you'd have to do with geometry, but it's like 500 miles. 500 miles that way, the satellite is. But every satellite is at 23 degrees, no matter what company you choose. So every channel, every satellite is shooting at 23. I don't believe a word of it. Okay. I see Samuel had some work to do. Thank you. Yeah, Sasha. You know, well, we're going to get the trolls. I can't wait for the other guy's troll to come on my channel. Mr. T found time clock. He's got the time clock. Sasha, good. Okay, Mad Max. Thank you, Mad Max. Thanks for the support, Mr. Fazio. Yeah, but I always liked you, Mad Max. I always liked your channel. And I remember your channel because it's a really cool name. So Mad Max has some mad videos on his channel. You guys want to go out there? Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. I'm not even anywhere near the bottom, so it took a long. I hope you're still with me. I didn't see that till just now. Okay, Linda, let's see. Linda Moritz. Yes, the Vatican is a church with a cross on it. They are also well hidden in the charities they flood you with, especially at Christmas and Easter. Oh, they just can't collect enough money. They are the greediest organization on the planet, the Vatican. They make Oh God, yes, it's sickening. It's sickening. Linda says, "Oh, she meant to say that the Vatican is a bank with a cross on it." Yeah, that's probably more true. That's probably true. That's probably more true. That would make a really good title of a video. If you ever decided to make a video, or maybe I will. The Vatican has a. I really meant to say it is a bank with a cross on it. Yeah, stay away from 501c3 churches, which are most of them now. They are told what they can and cannot preach. That's right. Sasha, thank you. From Sasha says, thank you, Samuel. Linda, hey, I have a ball like that. It startles me sometimes. I thought it would be good for hanging in a garage to let you know how far you can back into it. That's a good idea. Send those requests to me. I have a lot of spare time to answer. Okay, that's Mad Max, Psycho, but Psycho says he watches all my videos and hits the like button. Well, that's a good start. Thank you, Psycho. Warren H. Hello, Michael. Hi, Daisy. Hello, Warren. Linda Lee Mewix. Linda Mewix. Yes, some of Door's stuff is good, but I don't like him spitting in that one guy's face that time. Linda, I remember that like it was yesterday. Let me tell you, that was Alex Jones that Jimmy Dore spit in his face. He didn't spit in his face. He took a full mouth of iced tea, like a whole, like that. And then he sprayed it all over Alex Jones's face, his hair, and his suit. Long before that breath ended, I would have knocked him unconscious if he did that to me. Long before he was done with that mouthful of spraying iced tea. Now maybe it was a planned thing on YouTube, but Alex Jones has the reflexes of an effing slug. Okay, the spray. Jimmy Dore walked up to him with a cup of iced tea and loaded up his mouth. Alex Jones was looking in that general direction. He filled up his mouth. Then he went like this for a good 3.5 seconds. Do you realize how many times somebody that could hit you in 3.5 seconds? Do you have any idea that Alex Jones, with all his tough guy bullshit, that he trains and he's a martial arts, trains with rangers shooting guns at the range, and that he was a wrestler and a swimmer and all that other bullshit. He never got off one shot. Okay? Yeah, I didn't like when he did that, but I don't blame Jimmy Dore one bit for doing that. Alex Jones is a piece of fecal tissue. Warren H. Obama flew already today. Flying! Fly! You want to fly? Fly for Warren! Flying! Woo! Warren H! Warren H! Warren H! Kisses for Warren H! That's right, Warren! Woo! Flying for Warren! Flying for Warren! Thank you for stopping by. I forgot, Mr. Obama likes to get his wings wet every once in a while. Okay, now we're going right through. Like I said, not an intelligent comment, not a subscriber to my Patreon, not a super chat guy. We're going right through you. Linda says, I heard all those migrants. Yeah, I've been saying it for years. Every migrant is entitled to $3,800 a month. Everyone, including the children. $3,800 a month worth of free shit from America. Oop, drop Mr. Trump's brain, the glow-in-the-dark brain. Oh, got to go back up again. Lost my place here. Lost my place. Oh, boy, there's a lot of comments. Okay. Okay, so, Linda, we've answered 3 or 4 of your questions, so I'm going to drop answering your questions for a while. Let me get down to the bottom. That's right. Mad Max knows that Jacob Rothschild, a.k.a. the Rothschilds, bailed out Trump a couple of times from bankruptcy. The Catholic Church is a spanner I know little about. I don't think of them as influence politics. Okay, that's your concept. Believe me, the Catholic Church runs America. I proved it. Psycho, I talked to a migrant. That's the one that you had on the one you talked this morning. Psycho says that the migrants, some migrant bought a brand new Mercedes-Benz because every one of his family members collect $2,500 a month in cash, free food, free EBT card, free rent, free electric, free water, and everything is free. This is just a piece of bamboo. I doubt anybody would be selling this for $350. I tried to sell my DOD before I left America for $500, and people were only offering me like $50. I got news for you. The DOD has a value of $500 to me. That's what it's worth to me. Somebody could offer me $200 and I wouldn't sell it. It has a value to me. If it doesn't have any value to you, like this piece of wood, if you needed a piece of wood to stay warm and you were freezing to death, I could get $1,000 for this piece of bamboo. All right. Okay, so I'm brushing through these comments. Like I said, I have my rules. I got to get, in order to get down to the bottom, I just got to bypass a lot of people here. Psycho says we have movie night with all the Filipinas. Filipinos, not Filipinos. Yeah, I like that. And we watch your videos, Mr. Fazio, while eating lechon, baboy manuk, and adobo. Thank you. I'm glad that somebody's enjoying my videos. Okay, so, all right. Psycho says, this is true. I locked priests up for skinning children. I don't know about that. I don't know that. I believe that you would lock them up, but I saw the comment that you made above about priests skinning children. I would love to see the link to that. I'm sure everybody would like to see the link to that. Can you show us the link to that? Because I don't have trouble believing it, but it sure would be nice to have a link to back it up. Peter Brown is happy I gave Trump hair. Joe Blow says he got off Facebook 2 years ago. Facebook sucks. Let's just face it. First of all, I have 2,700 friends on Facebook. I don't know how many people get my updates. I don't even put stuff on. You look at my videos, 5,000, 2,500 public videos. Go to Facebook. I posted 3 in the last 6 months that I could remember offhand. Black Miner says, my foot is better, but not better altogether yet. If you were a member of my Patreon account, you'd have access to my videos of how my foot is doing. And actually, I posted a video today. But you're not a member of my Patreon account, so I'm going to have to brush through comments unless you are members or donators through Super Chat. I just got to get to the bottom of this. It doesn't seem like it's possible. The man in the street. Man in the street. Fish is awesome up here, bro. If you are ever near, I don't even know where you are, man in the street. Are you in the Philippines or are you in Nova Scotia? I'm not sure who was in Nova Scotia, the name. Aram. Okay, Samuel says, yeah, I saw Aram super chat. Samuel. Abram did give a super chat yesterday, and it did disappear, but I saw it before it did and thanked him. He was asking me if I was a guinea. I remember. And then when he put it in the form of a super chat question, well, then it has to be answered. The answer is yes. By definition, I am a guinea. All right, let's see. Sasha says if it wasn't for his family in the Philippines, I wouldn't even have Facebook. That's probably true. Now, let's see. Watch this. I don't know if Jeff Stieglitz is here, but this is what Jeff bought for the. We're gonna have a little competition. Not a competition. They're gonna put a bunch of numbers in the hat, and for Christmas, and the children are gonna get rubber balls with lights in them. 2 different sizes, one for the babies and one for the adults. I mean, one for the bigger children. And then we have, where are the cars? So you can thank Jeff Stieglitz for the Christmas balls from Jeff Stieglitz to the local children. I can't wait to make a video of this block once it gets dark. I'm going to hand these balls out about 4:30, 5 o'clock at night, just at dusk. I'll bring all the families together on a Sunday, and we're going to throw 90 names in a hat, 90 numbers in a hat. Everybody gets a ball, and some people get things that fly through the air. And the babies are going to get little cars like this. We got a bunch of these and a bunch of these, and we got some helicopters too. We're gonna get more helicopters because they love that. And where are the other balls? The big balls. Yeah, please. This is like going to be, the kids are going to have a ball for Christmas. That's right. These are just some of the big balls. We got big balls in blue, yellow, green, and pink. This is called the therapeutic ball because it has little nipples on here like that. And got a bunch of these and a bunch of small ones for the little kids that they can, little children could play with them. So thank Jeff Stieglitz for dispersing balls for Christmas. That's right. Christmas balls on Jeff Stieglitz. Thank you, Jeff. Okay, we've got a bunch of other stuff outside too. We only took this stuff in the house yesterday to take the price tags and the labels off of it. Okay, so 22 viewers. See, that's what's bullshit about YouTube. If 17,000 of my subscribers would have got a notice, I guess I would have 100, 150 viewers. Nobody's even getting my updates from my dad. YouTube sucks. That's why, okay, today is probably, I might even just eliminate the chat altogether and just talk about what I want. Because if I'm not successful here, I spent 2 hours, and my video from 2 days ago got 392 views. This is real. You guys are not sharing my videos. I don't know. I got a lousy 9 thumbs up in an hour and a half. You guys are not helping me at all. I got to tell you. Okay. Warren H said, Warren H, why don't you just put your money towards your medicines and forget about Patreon from me, okay? Do me and you a favor, and don't even contemplate Patreon. If you are going through cancer treatments and then you're thinking about helping me, my friend, don't sign up for my Patreon. Don't super chat me, and don't do anything in the way of giving me money when you have problems like that in your life. Not now, not when your cancer gets better, not ever. You have given enough money to you need to take that money, save your money for yourself, okay? Do not sign up for Patreon. Do not send a super chat. Do not try to give a PayPal. Do not help me in any way, shape, or form. I don't want you to even contemplate that, okay? Let's just bypass any thought where you feel obligated in some way to help. I'm talking about other people that have financial liquid assets like Sasha, who could help me. Okay. I'm talking, and who said 6 or 7 months ago he was going to sign up for my Patreon account. I'm thinking about guys like Sasha, who said he was going to. I'm thinking about guys like Sasha, who's got 2 snowmobiles, several muscle cars, several trucks, a house in the Philippines. I'm thinking about guys like Sasha kicking it in a little bit. I'm not thinking about Warren H. who's struggling to pay his cancer treatment. I'm thinking about guys like Sasha.